It's a time for not a normal package from China. No, it's the double package from China today, because it's time to enter the Pandora jungle. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, I already told you in the intro, it's going to be a double package from China because I received two packages and it's going to be for one review because we're having the new Pandora's DX single player / two player. It's a new way to play when it comes to the official Pandora's box. And in this video, we're going to do an unboxing and what are we going to get in the two boxes. The first box that we're going to open, it says here, it's the Master Pandora's Box DX. And the reason why, because one of these joysticks will contain the main board. Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to get in the box itself? What I do like about this official Pandora's Box store now, we're going to get a very nice look Pandora's Box DX manual. It's more like the same manual or booklet they're going to give you with every single Pandora DX product. So if you like an arcade machine or just a separate, let's say, game system, then we're going to get this. So we're going to get with these companies like different accessories, like an USB cable. Here's my Euro cable for connecting the power supply, VJ. I have so many of these freaking things, I never use them. And here having the power supply, 5 volts, 12 volts. This one weighs quite heavy, by the way. Normally there's like super light as a feather. And here he is, the new edition Pandora's Box. How is the button quality? Oh, that is not good. It's okay. But let's take a close look at it. But first, or shall we? No, whoa. Wait, no, we're going to open up the second box. First unboxing, yeah. Okay, so this is the slave, like it says over here. And I just ordered the same version, like the same color. I just want to have two similar joysticks. Ah, here is my HDMI cable. And the reason I'm happy with it, because these things are super long. Love it. And we're going to get another USB cable. Alright. And of course we're going to get the joystick itself, but there are some differences and that is what we're also going to talk about. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay, let's go. This can be a very nice thumbnail. Okay. Hey, but what I like about this thing is that we're going to get like two separate joysticks. And yeah, it's more like a personal preference. If you want to have like a gigantic two-player stick, it's all up to you. But there are some positive sides to this. Okay, another thing I like is that we're going to get 8 buttons, and nowadays with the DX it is supported. Like with the previous models, we didn't have the support, like we having the 8 buttons for USB function, but we couldn't use it with the Pandora's box, but that's something they changed out. So on the Master, we're going to get the main board with all the functionalities. So here we're going to get the HDMI out, VJ out, the audio volume control settings button, and of course the 3 USB ports and the input, don't forget the input, for the power supply. And then with the slave, we're only going to get the extra USB cable port. And because the reason why is very simple. This cable needs to be used for connecting the other Pandora. But I know I never want to untangle these cables. But basically what you're going to do, plug this one in over here. And we're going to plug in this over here. But it's just a choice. Don't get me wrong. This is just a choice. If you don't want to play with your friend and you're saying, okay, I just want to have one play version. You can just leave out this joystick and just order the Master. That is up to you, but I think it's just a really great addition. If you just play with your body, and you can play it like this. But of course, you're going to have this freaking cable. So if you're going to have like quite a big space between you and your friend, you need to have an extender. They're very cheap to get on AliExpress, so that's not a big of a deal. No wireless, no bullshit but batteries. Plug and play cabling. But let's talk about the quality of the joystick. What did they have changed out? I did a review of both the models, like the wireless editions. And most of the time they're using the same casing, but there's some minor changes with this one. Okay, so what they changed out is that we're going to get an almost completely different stick. So the layout itself like this, it's all the same. We're going to get the 8 buttons, that's almost like the same like the previous model. Maybe we'll do like a side-by-side comparison in the future. We're having here the power, pause, another button called PS, select, turbo, coin and the start. But these buttons are completely different. Normally we're going to get like this big gigantic start button that's actually like a normal arcade button. And they all changed it out. We're only going to get these tiny buttons. I don't know if you can change them out. That is something we're going to find out when opening it up. Normally we're going to get these Senwa clone look-alike Chinese buttons, but this, very long travel. But you don't really feel the micro switch. To be honest, it feels really cheap. And I don't like it at all. The joystick, on the other hand, is like the Samba clone that we're always going to get. But I really wish they, like, say, give you the option to give like a real Samba joystick, because that is a game changer in my opinion. They will cost like $15 up to $20 each, but still, better than the Wicked Wiggle Stick. Okay, there's a really fun fact that this mod is just basically the same when it comes to the wired or wireless version. The battery cover, everything is over here. Of course, there is nothing inside. But these mold or these sticks are basically being used by wired or wireless version, doesn't matter. So let's open it up, let's remove all of these freaking screws and let's see what's inside. Alright, so let's open it up and let's see what we're going to get. Okay, I always need to be very gentle because there are a lot of cables that are always connected. And otherwise you're going to rip something up, that is not good. So what we're going to get is the joystick here. So the joystick's like a typical joystick. You want to replace it with a Senwa, no problem whatsoever. So here we're having the speaker. The speaker itself, it's only, oh man, it's a really tiny one. It's only in 3 watt. Normally going to get like 5, maybe 7 watts. So this is a very tiny one, but let's check it out later on how loud it is. And here we're going to get the main board where all the magic is happening. So there are some things I don't like. So first of all, if you want to change out in the future with another main board, maybe Pandora itself, or let's say Pandora Game 3D plus 2, whatever you're going to call it, there is no way, because most of them, there are like some differences between the connectors. So if they don't align, you can't add it in the case. So this is a little bit of a bummer. Part of the files are over there. They're still using the sticker over this. So if you want to swap out some files and you want to basically add some games or whatsoever, you can also like remove this one, or you can use an external USB. It's all up to you. But over here they changed something out when you're looking at the older models. So to begin with, we're going to get just 2 big PCB boards. So here we're going to get the bottom one that connects all of the buttons. But this is really concerning, and I'll show you why. So with the first model I've reviewed, or better said the first 2, you can basically replace the buttons. But what you can see over here, you're going to get the same micro switches like your freaking keyboard. And I'm not very happy to see this, because if you're having some issues or wearing out, there's basically no way of replacing the buttons. No, not really. Oh boy, this is a serious problem. But of course, if you want to change out the button, there is a way, but not an easy way. So I'm thinking the holes are exactly the same like normal buttons. So what you can do in the future is like removing the PCB. You need to do a lot of soldering, and with some, let's say, soldering and some magic, you can always manage to get some normal buttons in it, but it will not be like an easy swap. But let's put it together, or I mean, let's put this thing together and let's see how are the buttons and joystick even responding. What I do like about this new button setup, that we're going to get this very nice LED feature on it. So if you like some Pandora's box ding bling bling, you will really fancy these things. Okay guys, so I especially wanted to make this review about this new 2021 model when it comes to Pandora's boxes. Yeah, it's like slightly different here and there, especially when it comes to the buttons. I'm not the biggest fan of it, simply because I am a Senwa fan of these buttons, and they are just completely different. Especially like, they're not having micro switches, having like these keyboard switches. What the hell is going on? What were they thinking? Oh man, replacing these buttons is going to be a freaking nightmare if you're able to do this. Okay, just before we're going to talk about the menu and all the other things, I just wanted to do a quick gameplay about the button and the joystick. So the joystick itself is like our typical Pandora's box joystick and a clone of the Senwa. I'll say I'm not the biggest fan of it, but they are playing just fine. But the buttons, on the other hand, I am not a big fan of this, man. It's like they got a really long travel. Maybe you get used to it after playing with it for some hours, but in overall, I'm not really pleased with it. Give me Senwa, but again, it's more like a personal preference when it comes to buttons. So the device is the 3001, and what you already can see that they changed some things out. First of all, they did create a new layout, or layout to the background basically, and we're having now a 3D and very nice decal with the 3-dimensional games. When pressing left or right, you go to the next page. As you can see, there are quite some different games and a lot of double games. So what they're doing with the Pandora Box 9 and putting double games. Sometimes you have these hack games like boss that you can play with the bosses. I have no problem with that. More like a homebrew hacked game. I love it. But at the end, when you're having these double games, yeah, it's just more like a naughty cheating list. Okay, pressing up and down, you can see it changes also the little preview over there. Pressing the start button, you're gonna get the categorize system. They changed some things out over here. We're having now search like the previous model. We're having the recent list over here. We're having 3-dimensional games. We even have a little categorized thing with 3 and 4 player, but what you already can see with this is that we're having a lot of double games. So I think there were around 100 games supporting the 3 and 4 player mode, but at the end you're going to get a handful. And then we have all the other stuff, like the previous model. We can go to the Sport games by pressing the number 1 or triangle if you're a PlayStation player. You go to the menu here and you can choose your game. The question remains, did they still mess the things up? For example, with the PlayStation, we can save that thing, so we're going to test out. But nevertheless, let's go to the settings menu. So let's see what happens here. Pressing the little button. So a little thing, as you can hear, we're having different song now. And the reason why, because first of all, the thing that was original on the settings menu, it was a copyrighted song. And nowadays we can just swap the intro, change the music at the background, so that's pretty convenient. Alright, so we're having EO testing. There are not a lot of new things here. For the people just new to this product, you can see we're having custom buttons. The problem with this is that you can change your buttons, but basically for every game. So it's not you can say I want to change my buttons for a certain game. That's not possible, it's just only for the full emulator. Game settings. Let's go into the game settings. You can change the difficulty. I did notice some people had problems with it, that it didn't work. As you can see, we can even remove games, or you say you don't want to see the double games, you can go through the list, you can change everything out if you want to. Alright, so let's say I want to display all, or I want to say I want to remove this game. So that is a possibility. The only thing that I really hate about it, as you can see, they're saying A, B, C, D, and we don't have these buttons. We're having on the controllers 1 to 4. I think the colors are exactly the same, or let's see, display all. No, the colors are basically all different. Yeah, okay. Bookkeeping, that's only if you're having this in an arcade machine. You can turn the internal speaker when you're having this in a Pandora machine on and off. Alright, so let's talk about the game settings, because here are quite some new interesting things. So for example, we have all the other features like with the previous games, like auto exit, and you name it, it's here. But with the quality optimization, we're having some new options. We can just turn it off, like the previous models, but we can turn scan lines on. So I'm going to do a separate capture where you can see the difference between the scan line option and without, and including the quality optimization. The first thing that they changed out compared with the previous Pandora box is that now we're not going to load into the character select screen. So that is something that is new. But that's the second question, can we save the game? So before making this video, I did some testing. So I went to the test mode. And this is not normal because everything is normally green. And as you can see over here, for example, when we're changing it to easy, going back, you see it's still on easy. We're going to load up, card load. It says load OK. And we're going back to option. You see it's back on very hard. So that is a very good thing. So it seems to be the save function has been fixed. Alright, so what is a little bit of a shame, including a preview, they didn't fix the previous issues. We don't have any background song with the Tekken game. It can be fixed very easily, but it is something that is a little bit of a shame if you ask me. They also included a save load function. Saving and loading take quite some time, and fun fact, when you're booting up Mortal Kombat 1, I will show you a little bit later, you can see that the save function doesn't work. So the problem with the Pandora 3D, I can recall it, is that we had save function but not for every single emulator. And they also have this problem with the Pandora DX. Alright, so let's take a close look at Mortal Kombat. So this is the real arcade version. And let's press the select button. As you can see, there is no quick load, quick save. It's very strange. It's so strange that they did it. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's boot it up. And man, it's having no screen tearing, but that runs not really smooth, to be honest. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see how the deep work works. Oh, I can't get my move out. But you can see that it doesn't runs very smooth. It runs a little bit choppy. No, don't clap, don't clap. It's not. Wait, I freaking use my jump button. The PlayStation 1 runs pretty decent. All the sound effects are here. Fun thing is that with the save function for the PlayStation do work. Strange, don't you think so? That with the Mortal Kombat 1 it has a problem, but with PlayStation we can save like quick load, quick save, and then we have the normal save function. So when it comes to the performance of the Pandora Box DX, the new 2021 model, but it doesn't have a lot of improvements in my opinion. I'm happy we're having people like Pandora Tool that are basically giving us upgrades that actually matter. And yeah, they are working out aspect ratio stuff that improves the system in many ways. So this is what you're going to get. In the future we'll make some more videos about updates from the Pandora Tool and other things that will happen here in the Pandora jungle. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. And don't forget, hit the bell. And we'll see you in the next video. Pandora jungle time. Ha 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 ha.